My name is Jacob, and welcome to another episode of Uncut on the Abrasive Conversations platform. In this episode, I would like to talk about the failure of the criminal justice system and we as a society. I know many of you have followed the Joshlin Smith case very carefully and have very strong opinions about the disappearance of Joshlin Smith. So you might be also aware of the ruling of Judge Erasmus quite recently that found the mother of Joshlin Smith, Kelly Smith, guilty, her boyfriend and another accused in the disappearance of Joshlin Smith. So for me, personally, it signals a failure of the criminal justice system, because the question that I have, and I know many South Africans have currently, is what happened to Joshlin Smith? The police could not provide an answer for that. Even this particular trial could not get to an answer of this. And many people have hope if Kelly Smith and a fellow accused would testify, that some answers regarding the disappearance of Joshlin Smith would have been answered, but we didn't get that far. I don't know the personal motivations of Kelly Smith and the two other accused, why they didn't testify. But for many people, it was a sign that they were guilty. It's because they are guilty that they didn't testify. So I made an episode previously talking about this particular case, and one of the things that I warned against was the guilty before innocent situation. We have to be innocent until proven guilty, and at the time I felt that what I experienced in the media is the portrayal of the three accused as guilty before the verdict. And because of this particular portrayal and hate that Kelly Smith experienced, I think might be one of the reasons why she decided not to testify, because anything that she might have said, people would not have been believed. So there was this notion that she is responsible for the disappearance of a child, that she's the guilty one, and whatever she's going to say and bring to the table would never be good enough. Now, with that being said, I also know that Kelly have decided that when the sentencing are passed, I think sometime this month, then she would take that opportunity to finally speak and tell her side of the story. And I'm looking forward to what Kelly actually have to say about the trial, the sentencing, and what happened thus far. But apart from that, really apart from that, one of the things that I are still questioning is the effectiveness of the investigation. Now, I know that the police already indicated during the trial that this was mostly hampered because of media reports and also because of the participation of some politicians in highlighting and portraying and speaking out in the media with regards to the disappearance of Joshlin Smith and the portrayal of Kelly Smith. And the police is of the view in this matter that might have hampered their investigation. Now, there's some truth to it, and I don't want to go into it. But the failure is still on the side of the criminal justice system, because we still doesn't know what happened to Joshlin Smith and where Joshlin Smith currently is. So even though we have a guilty verdict, I don't think that justice has been served in this particular case. The family of Joshlin Smith still doesn't know what happened to Joshlin Smith. And that family are sitting with this hope that Joshlin Smith will be found and will be reconciled with the family. And when you have that particular hope, it's like pieces of you die every day, the longer you don't have an answer. And this is where I think the criminal justice system have failed. They have failed to give an answer to what happened to Joshlin Smith. So the guilty verdict doesn't necessarily point to a success in this particular case. The other failure is the failure that we as a society are responsible for. Joshlin Smith only disappeared because she lived in a community that didn't look after and children like her. If the community looked after Joshlin, then I firmly believe that this never would have happened. And it's not just in the case of Saldanha Bay. There's something that is happening across South Africa. I know of communities, and I've witnessed it myself, where children on a daily basis doesn't have any safe spaces to go home to. So after school, there is no aftercare program at the school, or if there is an aftercare program at the school, it is so short because the people who's working at that aftercare program just want to get home. So we have children that is just left to their own means, and it's in that environment that many children disappear. There's a lot of highlight that has been put on Joshlin Smith, but there is children disappearing in South Africa on a daily basis. And this is where I think that we as a society must step up and do something. And I know of people that are doing something. In my small hometown, Bitterfontein, one of my longtime friends, Ricardo Koch, decided to start an aftercare program for children, especially because there is failures within the community to give children constructive things to do after they leave school. And in many cases, the parents are not capable of helping children with their homework or even care and look after them. So he decided that he is going to do something, and he is currently working with 2 other people, and from Monday to Friday for 3 hours they have a aftercare program. and it's for kids with all ages, and they cover from homework, helping children with their homework, talking about careers, but also physical training, like sport and recreation. And what happens is that children is in a safe environment up until their parents come home, or they can go home to sleep and leave home to go to another protective environment, which is the school. So there is people out there who are already doing the work. And I would encourage the broader South African to support NGOs like that and to help out where they can. If there is no such aftercare program in your school, please reach out to the Department of Social Development, a church. You can even speak to the school or the police and tell them that you need something like that in your community. Trying to get funds for that would also work. I also know of another case in Leiplek, Veldrif, where my sister and another person also started the aftercare program for children, and it helped them with homework, food, but they also deal with very tragic and traumatizing incidents that these children experience, and that is from abuse to sexual abuse, sexual harassment, the violence experienced at home, and even drug abuse. So there are people in these communities that are doing the work, but they need our help. So please reach out to these organizations in our communities and help out, volunteer. And if you have any money or resources to spare, also give them some money or the resources that you have left over to help out with many of the needs that they have in these aftercare programs. It's only when we as a society start looking after the children in our communities that we would see less and less children like Joshlin Smith and many other children in South Africa disappear. So I hope this makes you understand why I believe that the successful trial, the so-called successful trial of Kelly Smith and the other two accused is really not something to celebrate, because we still doesn't know what happened to Joshlin Smith. Thank you for watching, and I will see you guys in the next episode.